Welcome back, everybody, to the LPL and Munch. That's Nymeara over there. No, over there. Actually, wrong way around. NIP winning game number 1 over IG. A little closer than maybe you would expect, but NIP ultimately. This composition, all about the level 6, and the second those ults are online, they start finding those fights.
Yeah. I really want to praise Photic and Zhuo. I think their laning phase opened up so much in this game. We're straight into game number 2 though, folks. No messing around. We have ourselves a Zyra jungle. We have ourselves a Brand jungle. This has been a change in stuff.
That is a Renekton mid coming out from Neny right here. It's GLFS bringing out the AP jungle. Aki, like you say, brings out the Zyra jungle on the opposite side.
Okay, all right.
This is chaos.
So, Yone doesn't lose to many champions in a 1v1. You can get 100 to 0'd by a good Renekton, though. We saw this on Yone release. Renekton was one of the champions that could actually deal with this guy. If you go towards stuff like the Eclipse, with your empowered W, you break shields. You can break through the Yone W shield if he tries to hard trade with that, too. So we have to see Neny really take the pick to Rookie. Of course, he has been a notable Yone player in the past. It's not necessarily been the big pick for NIP, though. They preferred AP mid AD jungle with the level 1 moving in. Might see some weirdness from IG.
Keeping my eyes on Aki this game. Okay. He's a player that we sort of criticized a bit for not being that good on the AP jungles. Brings out Zyra of all champions. This is a champion that, you know, has a lot of very weird niche mechanics, a lot of strange matchups.
Like this. Level 1, you stand on a camp, so your passive spawns the seeds. Zyra's damage comes from her plants, not from her abilities. If you force her, like Shaco, to move from her starting camp at level 1, her clear speed drops like a rock. You need that level 2 to get your seed spawns afterwards. They'll still be farming fine, but this means that you're not getting that sub 3 minute clear speed, which you can get on the Zyra. So Aki already kind of forced off a little bit from one of the strongest points of their game.
See what Aki can do to recover from that. Does 2 camps on his bottom side, and then immediately moving in, we've got a lane swap situation, which means it will be vertical jungling coming out from both sides here. Aki going to try and grab this blue buff, but you see GLFS moving back to his own top side, and in fact, he's going to try and sneak away the wolves, but he'll be spotted on this ward. Yeah. Zhuo is in the area. This could be dangerous for GLFS.
Problem is, Zyra doesn't have great early damage. Even if Zhuo gets on with an Ignite, I don't think they have kill pressure. They're both level 2, level 3 hit though.
The spike came down, and so he doesn't even get anything at the CC chain. The Ignite is burning. GLFS will survive, but Aki got the camp, importantly.
Yeah, if he didn't get that level 3 smite, I don't think there's kill pressure. He wouldn't have actually unlocked himself the route, because he'd gone Q into W. Smite ends up forcing the flash out of GLFS on the other side, and Aki, despite being disrupted on the camp 1, ends up getting a really solid clear early game after this point. I think that IG, they've attempted the lane swap as well, right? Arn and Vampire went up towards the top side, sharing XP with Zuan up there. I think that is quite nice against the Rumble. You keep the low Rumble, lower economy and lower XP, hopefully, at that point. It's very powerful to have a Rumble at full strength in a game, as we have seen various times throughout the LPL so far. But I think with Aki still getting ahead from where he should have been, NIP are not displeased with the early game.
Everyone's sticking around here, but the little ghost should spot the play out. Okay, they've finally seen him. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it had missed Shanji for a second there, but he will be forced away and will TP up towards that top side to catch the next wave as Zuan pushes it in.
Basically, I think NIP didn't teleport Shanji the wave before while it was crashing because they didn't know where Arn and Vampire were, or if GLFS had stayed or thrown back up towards there to find himself kind of like a dive towards that top lane. Doesn't really want to teleport in, die, and then, you know, get the old Dyrus treatment where you just kind of lose everything over a couple of extended waves. We go back towards normal lanes now, finally.
Zhuo hooked in. They'll get away with that crash down. On just getting some good damage down on this Kalista, worth mentioning. That is press the attack. That is a recurve bow in the inventory. This is an on-hit Kalista. This is an attack speed Kalista, not going to be that lethality that we've all got so used to at this point.
I'm kind of surprised. There's no one really that's that hard to kill from the side of NRP. Plus, also, trying to play low-range kind of attack speed, auto-attack Kalista into Zyra plants, who will likely have something like a Ryalize coming up as a second item. Actually, weirdly, in the LPL, we've seen a load of Banshees and Zombies as the second item, which I don't love on the Zyra. But if they, as soon as they get the Ryalize, really good at slowing down the attack speed of the Kalista and kind of never really allowing them to get into their active range. I feel like, with no tanks really on the board, lethality would have been a sitter here.
deciding to go for it in the end. We'll see how that works out later on. We'll keep our eyes on Arn during some of these fights and some of the replays of the fights to break that down a little bit more and see whether this decision will pay off for him. So far, so good for NIP, though, as Arn moving forwards, flash forwards, Photic, forced to flash away with his own life.
Okay, so that's Flash Ignite down for Vampire. It's important that they get the chunk out of Photic, but they don't completely force him out of lane. Can they get a secondary play after this point? Zhuo has Flash and Ignite as well. GLFS coming down towards bot. There's no Flash in Photic.
Zhuo does have his flash and actually goes on to Arn. Instead, Aki has arrived, but Zhuo is so low and taken down. I'm surprised they wanted this fight, in all honesty, as Aki now has so many spears in his back. It's a double for Arn.
What are NIP thinking around bot side? Rookie's coming down, has Flash, has ult. You're expecting 1, maybe 2 kills here.
Oh, Hook is inches away from Rookie. Neny uses that dominance, threatens the counter-engage off of Rookie's all-in, and so Rookie just has to back away.
Yeah, Neny pops the ult early as well. If it looks awkward when a Renekton pops their ult before they enter the plate, they're doing it to get themselves the Rage. Rookie, is he spotted on enemies? He got through that. He doesn't manage to cancel either of the backs. Tries to, again, catch them off guard. But yeah, Neny pops the ult to dissuade Rookie heading in, would be heading in with a full stack of, is it Fury Rage? The angry thing, the angry resource. There are a great many angry resources.
I believe it's
in League of Legends.
Fury for Renekton.
Yeah, I know that his title is he Butcher of the Sand? I think it might be. All the same, it's a thing which gets him angry.
It certainly is, and Rookie's getting angry right now after taking a brutal trade from Neny here. Does trade a little bit back, but in the meantime was losing minions. That's why he didn't want to commit to that one. Aki, though, has found himself 3 grubs. The Zyra does them so damn fast, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but Zyra, Brand, Lilia, all of them absolutely shred that. Karthus, well, of course, all of them very, very fast clearing. Now that you have the Fated Ashes components on both of these junglers, which can build up either into the Blackfire Torch or into the Leandries as well, that's really, really high damage. This is after the Flash and the heal have been used by Photic. Look, you can E-Flash now as Zyra. They added that mechanic in, so you can kind of E-cancel it with the Flash and kind of continue it towards your Flash destination. Zyra doesn't have early damage though, folks. Not really. She's a poke champion in lane if you play her as support, and that can be powerful, but you don't burst someone out like that. And Aki, I think, just bluntly misreading what his champion should be doing at that point in the game.
I will say, really good reactions from Arn to cleanse Flash, get himself to safety. However, even if they get the kill on Arn, I'm not 100% sure that they win the continued fight against the Brand. Not sure, hard to say. Photic looking for a 1v1 with Arn here. Hail of arrows. I guess it was on cooldown.
Gets some really good damage though. And again, Arn is on the attack speed Callista.
GLFS
Needs to be brawling around lower range. GLFS comes down.
Zhuo's going to go down again on this one. Knock up onto GLFS here. And the Pyroclasm doesn't quite finish the job. The burn is ticking.
Passive.
The pot is ticking. And Zhuo walks away.
Even with the Faded Ashes and the burn from the Brand passive, it doesn't finish off the kill. That is a lucky, lucky support from NIP. They'll take that one every day of the week. GLFS will leave bot lane and go into the bot side of the map all the same though. See if they can steal something away from the other AP farming jungler. It is a win condition just to get ahead in jungle matchups sometimes when they're this kind of farming. Aki doesn't have smite, just use it down there. It's going to be claimed actually by Aki.
Oh, and in the meantime, Vampire dashes into the bottom side. They found Photic, and it's another for Arn. Nearly goes down for his trouble, but it's the hat trick nonetheless.
Yeah, I am really surprised that they stayed around bot side. Photic, dude, your jungle's being lost. Of course, if GLFS feels confident enough to walk up towards your red buff, there's a good chance the bot lane's still around. You really misplays that ult in mid lane.
Oh, Rookie's baiting Neny in. Zhuo arrives on the scene, but Neny flashes the stun, misses the crash down. That means Neny gets away with his life there. Nice try from Rookie, but Neny honestly have the better of this matchup. It's a really intelligent draft.
Yeah, I think that the Renekton has always been a good matchup into the Yone, because Yone goes forward and goes, haha, I'm going to attack you multiple times. Well, not when you've been burst out and stunned for a million seconds. Yeah. You don't want to build Merc Treads versus Renekton, which means that, you know, he gets a really good stun. He can take shorter trades than you and win against Yone, especially in the early stages of that game. Do not want to face check this IG, careful.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Zuan, though, is quite happy to be the target. It's Zhuo that ends up going down. That's 4 for On. Every kill in the entire game is in Arn's pocket right now on a Callista of all champions. The Pyroclasm burning through NIP as well. This is all looking pretty tasty from IG.
Yeah, I think that NIP, they have really misjudged where their power of their composition is. I mean, yeah, you've got Shanji who can turn up the fights a little later and really impact the big, bursty team fights, but you need items for this. You don't have your first item, Leandry's or whatever it'll be for Aki. You need that extra damage, and I feel like this is why I was worried about NIP going towards less of the AP mid, AD jungle, and rather flipping it around, because it feels like Aki is just not misjudging as well.
Arn uses the cleanse. Chain of Corruption's on cooldown though for Photic, and Arn is just dodging everything Photic can throw his way. Rookie now, potentially the target, dashes back in and dodges some damage, takes a whole chunk of another bit of damage though. Will survive anyway.
Yeah, that press the attack in Power W, oh, so much damage. And Rookie doing well to at least keep somewhat consistent in terms of CS. I feel like this matchup can even go even worse than this. We'll see how it happens beyond that first item, though. Neny, of course, we talked about it in last game, had a lot of eyes on him, been role swapped, been subbed in and out. He's not been put in an easy position by IG. Honestly, credit to him for going up against Rookie with this matchup.
I do think, though, like, this is not only a really intelligent draft in terms of you've got an AD mid laner that works well with the brand, you're also trying to counter that Yone out. It's Rookie's Yone, who really is the kind of star player for NIP. You also have a top lane player playing mid who has 1 year of mid lane experience under his belt. Why not give him a top laner when the matchup makes sense?
So you're saying Kled mid next. That's the next one on the table.
Well,
right, okay, we heard that one first.
In the context of Neny, I'm saying Camille next, because the guy is 16 and 2 on it in his career. Zuan the next target. The fights go ever so slightly sideways, and actually the all-out might pull him to safety. W buff for the CC, but the damage is there. NIP strong as a 5-man unit, and now they look for Neny as well. Rookie can't win the 1v1, but they can win it with a 5v1. Double kill for Photic.
Yeah, they just end up getting the members there first. Vampire flashing forwards.
Hook onto Photic, but the follow-up isn't quite there. glfs doesn't get the damage down. And it means that everyone for NIP walks away, and Drake is just spawning.
Yeah, it's bold from Vampire. It's not bad timing and did have the cholesterol to pull him back, but even then, it felt like if you died for that or even lost most of his HP, that could have been pretty disastrous from IG. I guess kind of walk along the knife's edge of what you can achieve with your members going down. Now when we're going towards this next phase of play, of course we do have the Leandrys in for glfs already. Yet to be brought up from Aki. Photic, W arrow, he's doing it blind. What can he get? Not quite.
Within 400, considering that's blind, that's a pretty damn good attempt from Photic.
No, my favorite steal attempt, I think it was Piglet playing Corki, and he steals a Baron by counting down like 10, 9, and he ends up stealing it blind. That was one of my favorite ones back in the LCS. Back in the day. So Aki manages to catch out Zuan here. I'm gonna say it, I think that Aki could have just used his E-plants for the stacking slow and then maybe saved his ultimate too. Maybe not the best micro play from the Zyra, but when you have so many members coming down, it doesn't matter. Kind of just sparing the micro flushes just by having people there on better rotation time.
And I will say, the two ultimates coming down from both Aki and Shanji there, it's like, it looks kind of funny in the replay when they miss, but ultimately, they secure the kill on Zuan. He has nowhere to go. He has to go back
zoning
into...
ultimates. Yeah.
They actually were, I swear,
do you want to throw that in? Do you want to throw that in alongside ulting for Frozen Heart and Barmy Cinder from Malphite? Do you want to throw that in?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to do?
For anyone that missed that one, we did have a Malphite ulting in for Frozen Heart.
Don't worry.
Range.
Don't worry. Qing Xian missed that one too. Don't you worry.
Yeah, he didn't have a good reason though. He didn't just miss one either. He missed a good few in that game. That was... I don't know, maybe the worst Malphite game I've ever seen, which is, it's kind of hard to mess up. Anyway, Qingtian just catching strays now as NIP finish off the tower bot. Gold is basically even in this one. We could have a bit of a banger on our hands here, Nymeara.
Yeah, and both these team comps have very weird plays to play out the team fights. I mean, NIP have 3 or 4 ultimates which buy up so much space in a team fight. If the Varus hits, it starts spreading. You've got Rumble, Zyra, and even the Yone can just drop down their ultimates, and someone has to flash or die pretty much. And Zhuo, of course, can help set up all of this. NIP have a well and truly well-rounded one-more combo if they link up people in the same place. I do think IG can... kind of burn down individual members very, very well. I think Neny with Flash Up with the Eclipse, he's only had a small amount of gold, but if he gets an empowered W onto anyone, and there's any follow-up, that person is effectively dead. So Neny has to choose his targets well. I think if you can take out Rookie so he can't fight, if you can flash onto Aki so he just immediately burns down, I think that's valuable too. Watch out for what this Renekton will do next. Alongside Vampire with the Kalista ult, they do actually have pretty good ability to get towards one target and burn them down.
So Aki, with some very controversial jungle pathing here, walks into the enemy jungle while everyone is around and somehow gets away with it. What am I witnessing? It's weird to go down. Aki baits the ball. He's a genius.
Oh, what happened there? Between the combo between Vampire and Zuan, you had Flash on the Cassandra. At least go and trade for the 1-for-1 if you're going to die. Doesn't even bother pulling that Flash. And it feels like the effort of IG goes a bit to waste. They're going to take mid lane out of turret. That's not bad for them. That opens up some extra options, as of course it would do. But even with that, it's a 1-for-1 tower trade across the map as Rookie gets solo goal on that top side too. IG, come on! That's a Zyra in your own jungle. Not even close to the teammates. That's got to be a kill. What a mess up.
I can't believe Zuan was the one that went down there and
I can't believe
trade of objectives across the map as well.
All right. So let's do a post-mortem.
I can't believe he was that confident to be there.
Like if Zyra uses her E as well, you can't even stop people from getting on you. Puts down the ult, yeah, the Rumble ult comes down, but like, look how Zuan plays this. He charges up the W. At least flash ult or something. He ends up getting stunned. He's backwards. You could at least trade 1-for-1. I think that's a misjudgment from Zuan going into that play. And that's really going to be sad for him. Just kind of dies for nothing.
I feel like I'm giving a bit too much respect there to Aki
as
well. Just another auto or two before the rend, and that is a kill. Onto the Zyra. Weird one. Honestly, Aki, I don't know what on earth he was doing there. I don't know how he saw those wolves coming up with no one near him and with the whole enemy team converging. It was like, these wolves are mine.
I don't know, man. Like, he plays as though he's playing Vi or Wukong pretty much every game, even when he's not on those champions. And this is my big issue with NIP. They were top 4 in spring, but that was largely when they found out the exact style of play that they wanted to do. Rookie's in the side lane. He's alone right now. Just really burst out.
Yeah, has to use the ult defensively just to survive here. And that's as Drake is 30 seconds away. Luckily, does have TP available, so he'll be able to be a part of a play, but unfortunate to have to use that TP in this situation.
Yeah, and I think that Rookie on the Yone, it works out for kind of getting yourself some extra physical damage across the board. Of course, the Varus has gone on hit to be a little bit more of a tanky killer too, but not having that ultimate means that it's so much easier to play as Arn, as GLFS as well. Dragon's coming up, no big ultimate from Rookie. You do have the other big kind of pie chart of doom coming in from NIP with the Zyra ultimate and the lines across the board.
One thing I will say is GLFS used his Pyroclasm, right, which is a huge ultimate in the team fights for Brand. Brand kind of will struggle a little bit in the team fights without that ultimate available. Obviously, if you can get your E on everyone, you can still get that passive off. But the plant's coming out. Big poke onto Vampire.
No, I think we're really starting to see the mastery of different champions here as well. In this meta, the AP junglers, they ask a different skill set and see if GLFS can... Well, his Pyroclasms actually just can back up. Rookie's still down. We've got ourselves a flank from Neny. He doesn't have himself max rage. If he gets himself, again, the empowered W, that could be the difference.
Oh, Vampire finds the hook onto Photic. It's the perfect target, but the vines disrupt everything. It's a jungle out here, and IG are lost in the weeds. Zuan trying to escape with his life jumps back into the Baron pit, but Rookie chases him over and will finish the job. 3v3 now as IG have managed to get back on top, but here comes Rookie to finish off a double kill. Shanji burning them down, chasing forwards is Arn, who wants to turn the kill. Remember, he's got all of the gold for IG, but Shanji burns him to a cinder, and Neny is cut in half by Rookie.
Oh, that felt like it should have been the team fight for IG. They had the flashes, they had the ults in the right places, but they couldn't burn down the follow-up damage from NIP. And NIP walk away somehow from that fight with a couple of extra members alive. It was an absolute bloody mess. The Dragon doesn't even die because everyone is too low HP or dead after that fight. NIP, they will definitely take that extra gold onto Rookie. We said the Yone had been shut out of a couple of these fights, but if he gets towards 2-3 items, that will not stay that way for forever.
Okay, we have a brief respite before the next play kicks off. It's 1,500 gold in favor of NIP. It's barely anything at 20 minutes into the game. NIP have prio mid, and they want to get this Drake. Remember, this would be sole point for IG if they can get this next Drake.
Could be, and They need to be able to get that, though, through this mid lane vision control. See that Aki's starting to stand in the right areas, get himself seeds to put down. Of course, this W cooldown is not going to be enough to keep himself with a huge amount of plants over time. The passive means he needs to stay in the right area. IG, they're going into Fog of War, going into plants, going into, of course, Rookie, who's on now a much bigger point of power after the gold he bought before.
It looks like IG are not willing to contest. They're going to try and threaten Baron instead. They do have a brand. They can burn this down
and
real
now
fast.
Okay, all right. They're the ones which are forcing to go into the Fog of War.
Aki, I don't think you're the person that's meant to be face checking in this composition. He goes down, and NIP now have to scramble to find something. Zhuo actually finds an engage. It just trades his life here. Vampire extends the fight, and it just goes down for it. Photic and Rookie chasing for more. It's a 2-for-2 overall, but just walks into them. What?
I think he thought maybe he was trying to dodge an Electro Harpoon. All he ends up doing, though, is dodging his way. Duck, dive, duck, dip, and dodge right into the gray screen. He has so much gold. He could carry so many of these fights, but this is the problem with the attack speed Kalista. You just can't play within the range of NIP that close. And IG, despite themselves finding themselves a great kind of phase of play to switch the Fog of War around, find themselves a good pick onto Aki, walk away, losing out monstrously along this kind of side of it. You can see right here, they move from bot side to say, screw it, let's go to the top side, play around Fog of War. Great combo from Vampire, blows the spell shield, which I don't think Aki should even be building. Aki shouldn't be face checking this, shouldn't be building those items really, they don't help him in that engage. And they even then, after that, losing the Zyra so easily, you can see how much extra damage NIP have from Shanji, and then from Rookie as well, following up the fight with huge amounts of mobility.
I guess afraid of the damage from Photic. Just walks into Shanji. Rough end to the play there. What could have been a reasonably even play for NIP, for IG, sorry, turns into a win for NIP as they got the Drake as well, remember. But Ward still in the back of the pit from NIP. It will be denied by a control ward, but if it's ever hit, will reveal everything.
Yeah, and I gotta say as well, I'm gonna once again return to this point we're talking about how Aki should not be the one face checking. Also, if a Nautilus hook flies at you, you can skill check that by pressing E and putting a plant right in front of you. It's the same way you used to outplay Thresh back in Season 3 in lane. If the hook flies at you, you can just spawn a plant right in front of you if you're quick enough. Aki doesn't pass that skill check, and that's a big combo in mid lane onto Arn.
Equalizer comes down, Vampire chunked heavily here. And that might just be a mid-tier too, like your main engage tool is so chunked. How do you realistically start this fight? Just trying to clear the wave, but NIP have the damage. Tower down. Nice bit of play out from NIP to find an objective off of not a lot.
Yeah, that's all of Rookie. Rookie finds himself a great combo to set up for Shanji in the top side as well. Rookie, typically this year, his success has come from Ahri, from Aurelion Sol, and from the Talia, most of those two. He's not necessarily had the more flashy AD, kind of assassin-like champions like the Yone to play around, but this game has shown us exactly, again, what he can do on picks like this. The problem for me is that Rookie's doing great. I'm just worried about the rest of the map. I'm worried about how Aki's playing in this meta, even though Rookie's doing great.
Rookie, despite being counterpicked, having a great game, but here we go. IG wanting to make things happen themselves. They start this Baron off TPs from both solo laners. Shanji's having an insane game on the Rumble as well. He's going to be a part of this play. Moving in on the top side, but Equalizer's not available right now. They flash into the pit and try and find the fight instead. Aki in a 1v1 with GLFS. The AP jungle is duking it out, but neither goes down in the end as Shanji now chased out by Vampire. Root comes up through. Arn is trying to chase this kill down, and there's one for IG. Now the rest of the fight can follow. Rookie dives in with a double knock-up from the ultimate. Vampire will fall. Photic untouched, but hit back with a Q3, and in goes Neny to try and find more. Photic the target, and he drops. IG searching for more as they charge down the top lane.
You can change the roster, but you can't change this Org's history with a good damn team fight. They walk away after rushing the Baron, burning it down with the Kalista and the Brand. They're going to secure themselves a tower up for that too, a load of kills, and they march right back into this game. We were just praising NIP for getting an objective for free. IG show them to one-up.
Let's take a look at that, because at IG, that was just absolute chaos. Aki trying to flash in for the steal, doesn't quite get it. And then everything just devolves into chaos.
Yeah, and you can just see in the split fight that IG managed to get on into a position where he can actually do damage. You can see that they don't have the equalizer at the starters, neither do NIP, which is a huge team fighting tool. And once they're split apart, you can just see the amount of work On keeps managing to do. Rookie finally gets on top of him, but the Locket shield keeps him alive. Last auto finishes that off too. The big thing here is the split fight favors on the on-hit attack speed Ballista, and he gets huge value out of it.
That last bit of burst from Neny as well with the Eclipse coming on through. The W just annihilates Photic. He's got no summoners for the upcoming fight as well as NIP. Wrestle their way to controlling mid, but Drake is already just being burnt down by GLFS and
on the flank. Neny's really dangerous here. They get spotted out by the plants. Aki sorts that out. Here we go.
There we go. Smite comes down. That's soul point for IG. Can they find a fight as well, though? Vampire's been abandoned by the rest of his team. Fate's call maybe keeps him alive. Is the dot still burning? No, he's alive.
And there we go. Vampire buys time. On saves his life and buys him an extra chance here too. So IG, they get themselves the dragon through the rend. They get themselves an absolutely massive Baron power play. They're going to get just over 5,000. We'll call it just about that. Rookie ends up just cutting it down after taking the Raptors on the other side. But really, IG, incredible team fight. And they've smelled the blood in the water. They've managed to force NIP to play into their pace of the game before they have positioning and before they have their ultimates in the right place.
Look at that gold graph. That is LPL in a nutshell. This feels vintage. This feels quality here, and it's a kill a minute in this game number 2. Our first series of the day was a little bit slow, not that many kills. This second series is more than making up for it.
Yeah, so now with all of these kills, we're getting more items coming through as well. Photic and Arn are going to be a lot tankier than you expect because they have... Jesus, that's not a tanky Kasensei though.
Rookie does a little bit of damage at this point in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I was just about to say how the AD carries will start being tanky because of the Terminus built up and how that'll stack up very quickly with the Rage Blade too. Really good, but you can see that Zuan really struggling with Yone, who, I mean, Rookie got donated a lot of kills earlier, starting to show him off.
I mean, if Rookie can do that to Zuan, I'm not sure a Terminus is going to save on. To be honest, I don't know how tanky he's really going to get in the context of Rookie. I'm scared right now.
It's going to be so funny if he ends up outplaying him. We'll see what Rookie can do.
Neny takes a massive chunk. Zhuo the target here, but can't really find a good angle to finish anything off. And Rookie just will not stop, will he?
Yeah, and the Flicker Blades means he has so many extra E's and W's. The Flicker Blades, the replacement for Navori Quick Blades, they're still Navori, but it means less AD, but every time you auto-attack, you just get so much cooldown reduction back. It means he just gets so many extra abilities to be even more mobile than this champion has shown he can be in the past.
It is, it's a terrifying couple of items.
Oh, Neny.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. He doesn't have flash either.
He just doesn't know. Oh, no!
Oh!
Photic outplays himself, whips the chain. I don't think it matters. Neny will fall, but I mean, he's going to see that later on, Weibo.
Yeah, that one is, yeah, that one's the Thorny Death Brush. Zyra making it so. Photic misses the ult, but they have so many members pulled that Neny, poor roll swap mid laner, cannot make it out. I do think at this point in the game, his value on the Renekton is entirely tied to his flash and whether he can get onto one of these important carries in the backline. He's not had the worst team fights, but you can definitely tell that he's been kind of secondary to the performance of Arn in the big team fights here. Just lose track of where everyone is across the map, tries to push up and contest a wave. Probably had to see something coming like this in topside jungle. Didn't expect everyone to be there.
I was just going to say, there was a danger ping on the brush and then a V ping at Neny.
Yeah.
He still went to go for the face check. I kind of respect the single-mindedness of the face check there from Neny.
Oh,
dear. NIP, though, very much in control of the map at this point. The gold is still basically dead even, and it's 90 seconds until that next Ocean Drake spawns. It's soul point currently for IG, so they would get soul if they can grab that, but Baron's up in 20 seconds. That's where our eyes need to go.
Yeah, we need to see if IG can push in enough lanes to get themselves some vision. They're going into the Rylai's of the and the Varasalt now as well.
Oh,
ooh, that's a hell of a lot of damage.
Okay, Fate Unbound going to come on through. And they will be able to pull him back. Zhuo just finds everyone with the Magnus Storm, but he kind of just dies instead. IG now being chased down by rookie Photic in the middle of nowhere. Neny finishes the job. This is a disaster for NIP. What started as them making a play. Now Aki trying to finish things off on the top side. Vampire somehow still alive. Rookie will be there to finish the job, but the rest of IG are collapsing, and Aki cannot find a 1v3 on Azira. There's just no way, no how. Chased down by the Goon Squad. It's a double for Neny.
Oh, I thought that Zhuo had just made the montage play of the week. That would have been monstrous if they'd had the follow-up. They failed the team fight. IG once again pulling NIP across the team fight into different skirmishes, whether a Necton, whether Kalista, where everyone else can get way more value. This is a fantastic start to this play, but it's going on to one person with a spell shield. glfs manages to get himself out, and Arn manages to flash back largely to safety as well. What starts off as a montage engage ends up kind of just baiting NIP into multiple split skirmishes. They allow Neny to get onto Photic. They allow, so many of these members to get big damage, and NIP lose the plot of the team fight.
Honestly, if the Equalizer is in that rush as well, I think this is a totally different play. The Equalizer, a complete whiff, honestly, from Shanji. He drops the emotes as he goes down. So now we head back to the map. IG grabbed themselves that Baron. We just talked. This is sold for IG if they get it. Well, I mean, nobody's anywhere near to contest.
Are we legitimately seeing a Game 3 angle here? I think this is a really strong Game 3 angle. We're getting to huge damage at IG now. And I think that NIP, they have, and this is something which I thought we saw with their casters compositions as well. I think they have misunderstood the role of the AP junglers that they're playing around. RK shouldn't be flashing forward in Baron pits or in bushes like that. You've got to be playing to allow IG to dive into your plants, to dive into the burn damage. That's exactly what they've gifted over to the brand on the other side. I am really worried about NIP and their take on the AP jungle meta, because it doesn't look like they are that instinctively adapting to it.
It's a rough look for NIP here in
Is
a
that
series.
what you call it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I call it. I always try to be a little political with how I describe the teams. But NIP, I mean, should have been a heavy favorite coming in today. And honestly, game number 1, it felt like that. Game number 2, IG giving them a real run for their money, and a lot of it comes from Neny bringing the Renekton to this mid lane. It's found huge value in the fight.
He is alone. He doesn't have a teleport, and Neny on that Renekton you just called about. Okay, it's going to be fine. I think they can't stop before he recalls. I think they could have got that, I think they could have chased a bit more.
I think so too, but he does finish that recall off. And it looks like IG not wanting to risk things, maybe worried about losing things on the opposite side of the map, but realistically, there was no push coming through from the side of NIP. But I guess just wanting, like, the quote-unquote normal fights, the fights have all been a bit chaotic, but the standard fights have been going so well for IG, maybe just not wanting to introduce chaos into the game.
The thing is, they need the split fights. When it's gone to 5v5, I think NIP, the reason why the quote-unquote normal fights are going well is that NIP have been kind of just over-chasing time after time. Shanji pulled out a little bit on the side, has the Kalista ultimate if he wants to get dragged back out. He's safe right now. I think IG are in a really good spot with the Ocean Soul and the ability to split up fights. I think that NIP are really, really going to be in danger of just kind of falling apart now.
I've got to say, when Lethal Tempo was removed from the game, on-hit Varus versus on-hit Kalista is not the matchup I was expecting to see in the LPL. This is not how I thought this was going to go, but here we are. Like you say, with Ocean Soul in IG's back pocket. NIP, they've got to find something fairly miraculous here, but remember, the combination of ultimates is still exceptionally potent. If everyone from IG groups up, those roots with an Equalizer, with a Yone on top, that's devastating.
Now the question is that going to happen before? I wonder if Arn's going to go for a GA as the last item. I was wondering what's going to happen now. It's going to be a back stopped and... wait, did Vampire flash for that? I heard the pop animation. I don't know why I didn't see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Either way, I have a GA on Neny. Arn could get GA next. That's an ult back.
Oh, rookie buffers his own ultimate to get away from the all-out. Keeps himself alive, but importantly, that'll now be unavailable for the next fight. That's a huge ultimate cooldown.
And rookie... he's going to be really powerful, and if he can land onto a group fight himself. But IG, if they start getting themselves big Guardian Angels, the big combo might not even end the fight. If you die and then you can flash out afterwards, and Arn just brought up that GA, what happens to the wombo combo now? Because if Arn manages to stack up Terminus before he goes down, and then the GA comes through anyway, if you can flash out, keep auto-attacking. If you don't know this about Rageblade, by the way, on hits also applies in terms of the double stacking of it to lifesteal. With Bloodthirster, and then the Blade of the Ruin King, double stacking on the Rageblade auto hits, Arn could just about outplay anything if you don't immediately cut him down. If they dive too deep into the Callista, with the GA, I think that NIP need to keep that in their calculations too.
Yeah. One thing I will say, you mentioned it before, I'll bring it up again. Aki can slow him with that Rylai's, with the roots coming down. If you can find that initial route, if you can find the follow-up, it can be difficult for Arn then to get himself out of dodge. He's got Cleanse available currently, so still space to outplay it, but that's pretty much the angle. That's what you're going to try and find here if you're on the side of NIP to shut down this Callista. So,
things have calmed down just a bit. We're getting ourselves to some really big items. You can see that Aki with the burn of Leandries is going to be able to proc the Morel Nomicon really consistently, which is good. He kind of needs to be the one to get that, but he's out of position.
That's just not where you need to be, is it, buddy?
It's going to be a whimper, not a bang.
That is the end of the game. That is IG just getting a freebie to finish things off. My goodness, Aki, that is just not it.
That's not, and we saw this similarly on the Karthus. We've seen it multiple times this game. I personally don't understand the buying of the Banshee's Veil. It really hasn't helped. The Equalizer will clear the wave. Will it save the entire turret? Maybe just about.
Oh, vampires. Okay, doesn't matter. Callista is in the game. We're okay.
Yes.
IG walk away. Rookie in the meantime is actually going to trade inhibs. This is an interesting turn of events, as what felt like it could have been the end of the game for IG turns into Rookie continuing to push. Can they stop recalls here? Okay, Rookie's going to back away. Drake is spawning though. Baron's up in 5 seconds. Elder is coming up in 40 seconds. Okay, Rookie realizes that he's gone too deep for this one. All denied. TP from Shanji, but no equalizer available. It's a 2v2 between the solo laners here. So we have the front line trying to start things off. Double knockup comes out from Rookie, but he's locked up. He can't fling back to his shadow. Finally escapes, but Baron's taken by IG.
Now, Rookie has teleport. He needs to get back to teleport back in for a potential Elder fight. It's a good set of burst combinations from IG, but they can't quite get the kill. If they allow Rookie to teleport back in, which they will do, they might actually be in a losing position for the actual Baron fight. Aki's back up. His death didn't seal the game in the way that we thought potentially could do. It didn't put NIP in a great spot. Rookie ends up bailing them out. IG coming back into the play without the flash and ult on Neny, though. Those are some big tools for late game Renekton to be missing.
Elder Dragon started off here. Remember, the Ren is going to be huge if it can find its mark alongside a smite here. IG moving in. They've got their foot on the accelerator right now. Huge damage coming through onto the rail. Zhuo is in all kinds of trouble. Arn finishes to kill the kill. And it's all over for NIP. Rookie trying to salvage things on the backside of the play and suddenly turning things around. In the meantime, Neny chased out of the bot side of the play. Arrow comes in and pops the GA. Rookie saves the game right here. Elder still up. Resets having to come out from IG. But the rest of the team in the meantime, Arn and Neny continue to go for the Elder Dragon.
The Elder's going to go down, but the game, once again, doesn't end because of heroics from Rookie. Huge team fight from him. It's going to allow him to go forward, and he might have just died for the attempt.
Huge pickup for IG. They get themselves the Elder Dragon. Rookie tried to deny it, but he went in too early and is punished by Neny. That is going to be 4 Elder buffs on the side of IG.
I think that contest from Rookie, that one's pretty unforgivable. I don't care how powerful you are on the One, you can't go in like that and give up your life for almost a full minute towards the late game. Now with the Elder going over, yes, NIP went through and cleared out the enemy red buff. They managed to, push out the mid wave and stop IG from being able to push in quite as cleanly with both Elder and the Baron. They still have to defend now in a very awkward situation.
I don't know if this is defensible at this point. 2 minutes still on the Elder buff, and a man advantage on top of that. This feels unfightable. as Photic is caught on the top side of the play. Equalize comes down, Neny the target here, and the Stranglethorns land onto everyone as well. It's a 1-for-1 overall as Vampire dives into the play. Zuan underneath the towers will finish Aki off. Rookie finally back onto the map, but NIP have managed to hold. Rookie dives forward, ults back out of the play, and somehow survives. The wave will be one-shot eventually by Photic. One-shot's probably not the right word here. Ultimate's now all on cooldown, and actually, maybe this is the end of the game after all. IG push back in, Shanji doing his utmost, but it's not enough, and IG will find their third game.
We used to call them the Invictus Giant Slayers. I don't know what it classifies as today, but they walk away with the win. After 0-3 in their first 3 series, they finally claim a win in the group stage. Gosh, this team, I was really worried about them in game 1, but that game 2, they really just team fought their way through to a victory.
Yeah, that was an absolute battle. That was so much fighting and absolute chaos in those fights as well. Rookie having some insane moments, but on very much the player of their game. The early game went all his way, and then in those late game team fights, having to dodge Shanji and Rookie and the thorns coming out from Zyra, like that was a game and a half on such a short range carry.
Yeah, I really thought that the attack speed Kalista was going to be punished. And I did make a quick mistake, but they did win 1 game versus Weibo. And I was like, oh, it's their first victory in group stage. They get themselves like a second game victory. Of course, going through to game 3 as well after this point. But On, in the broken up fights, really did a good amount of damage. And I think that NIP they got caught up too much in IG dictating the way to play out this game. I'm actually quite upset with NIP not choosing to play the gripped up team fights and look for the wombos before it's too late.
Yeah, felt like NIP kind of got a little lost in the sauce, and to be honest, I can't blame them. There was a lot of sauce to get lost in this game, was basically pure marinara, but at the end of the day, IG, they came out, and do you know what? Every single time IG wins a game of League of Legends this split, it's absolute chaos. This is where they thrive. This is where this team can really find their wins. We're not even going to go to a break because we have caught up to the live series.